Hello, lovely people, and welcome. Thank you for coming to my channel. Today is going to be a little different because one of the reasons I haven't posted in a while is I went on vacation. And it was awesome. And I brought a sketchbook and a watercolor sketchbook with me and attempted to do about a picture a day and mostly succeeded. Some of the pictures weren't quite on the days that the pictures represent, but I got most days covered. And so this is kind of a little mini sketchbook tour going through what I did on my vacation. So the first thing I did was sketch out the plane window. And so this is mainly an ink sketch. I used a little bit of watercolor pencil. Since I was on the plane, I brought an aqua pen and watercolor pencils. So that's why this background's a bit streaky. The paper also in this wasn't watercolor paper because I started by intending to just do a sketch. And then I decided to put in the sky, so, unplanned. I think in the future I may just buy watercolor sketchbooks because I keep ending up wanting to put water into my regular sketches. But anyway, this was the first sketch on the plane. And then I did another sketch on the plane, just practicing my perspective. It's actually, there's a lot more space in my picture than there actually is on the crowded plane. I didn't quite get that right. But it was an interesting thing to play with. And then I switched over to my watercolor notebook. And the first day we were down at the beach. This is on Kauai. And there was a kite surfer, and it was pretty amazing. So I watched the kite surfer and took a bunch of pictures. And then in the evening, I painted this picture. The clouds are done by painting in the entire sky blue and then using a paper towel or to remove the cloud areas. So just kind of blotting out, lifting out the blue. And then I painted in the kite, and the lines of the kite were not actually visible in the photo, but in the picture they really needed it, and the guy and the lines of the kite are both in ink. And I really love how this one came out. I'm really happy with it. The next day, we went to the lighthouse on the northeastern corner of Kauai, Kilauea Lighthouse. It's a bird sanctuary and really quite beautiful. And so that's what this is. And it's a historic building, and they actually have tours. We could go up inside it, which we did. And it's quite lovely. And of course, we always see many of the birds, albatross and such, while we're there. The next day, we spent at a beach, and I decided to paint my view. I just lay in the chair with the hat over my head, and I've taken a little bit of artistic license. The hat was a much closer weave than this, but I think this conveys pretty well what it felt like to be there. And then the day after that, I did a sketch rather than a painting. Oops. And that's this. We went to the south side of the island and stayed at a lovely place where there were a whole bunch of banyan trees. And I really love banyan trees. They are the coolest thing. They kind of grow down instead of up, and what happens is they put out roots from their branches, and you can see them, and these will grow all the way down to the ground and root and make new trunks. So that's how all these trunks happen, and the tree just grows outward by putting down new roots which grow into trees. And banyans can take up acres, and you can walk the empty spots in there. I was actually able to walk through the tree, and that's just, I think that's absolutely amazing. And then the next day, we went up to the upper reaches of Waimea Canyon and Kauai, and I took pictures of this guy who is a Kauai chicken. At some point during a hurricane, a whole lot of domestic chickens got free, and they are just overrunning the island. They're everywhere. And nowadays, when I hear a chicken or a rooster crow, I think of Kauai, which is probably not most people's reaction, but it is mine. And then the following day, we went to a botanical garden on that side of the island, and I painted this guy, who is a red hibiscus. He's a small one. He's only about this big around. It used to be the official flower of Hawaii. I think they've changed it to a larger yellow hibiscus now. But this is one of the native Hawaiian flowers, so very nice. And then the day after that, I don't have them in order, but that's okay. We went to another botanical garden in Princeville, back on the northeast side, and saw this flower, which is called a bat flower, and they are really, really amazing and cool looking. And so I did this sketch of a bat flower. And then the other thing I did, we went, the whole group of us, and we took a chocolate workshop where we made our own chocolate bars. We went to Wild Kauai Chocolate, and they had this class where they showed us the beans and roasting the beans and grinding the beans, and we didn't actually do that, but we got to taste the roasted beans and talk a lot about the process. And then we got to temper and pour and flavor our own chocolate bars and trim them after they had chilled and go away with them. So that was pretty awesome. I made one that had peppermint in it and one that had cinnamon and coconut. And so in honor of that, I painted a cacao tree. So this is a chocolate tree with the cocoa pods. These are the pods, and inside those would be an inner meaty bit with the seeds and cocoa beans embedded in those. And so yeah, and then the next day was actually the day we went to the botanical garden. And that's everything I drew and painted, and I really, really enjoyed making kind of a little visual memory of the trip. And so I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you liked the art I did, and thank you so much for coming and listening to me, and I hope you'll subscribe. I hope to be putting up more videos soon. It's been a really busy spring, 2 vacations, and I was sick for a couple of weeks in there as well. So hopefully I'll be able to produce a little more. So as always, thank you so much for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and be well. Thank you.